Now let's get up and running with Phoenix Code Editor. You should have already downloaded Phoenix Code Editor and installed the application onto your own home computer. Once you have this installed, you can jump into the program and I'll teach you a little bit about how the program works. Once you first open Phoenix Code Editor, more than likely a default project is going to open up in the application. This project actually teaches you and shows you how to work with Phoenix Code Editor. Let's go ahead and break down how the application is set up so that you'll be able to begin using it right away. This left sidebar is called the File Explorer. It's going to contain all of the files that reside within a particular project. This middle section right here is called the Code Editor area. And this is where all of our code exists. As you can see, some of the text is highlighted in different colors. The different colors will allow you to visually identify HTML elements, HTML attributes, values, and text nodes, along with comments. I'll go ahead and close the promotional deal that's showing at the bottom of the code editor area. The right-hand pane is the output panel. This is going to show you a live preview of what your project is going to look like. I typically do not like to work with the live preview, as when you begin to develop more complex websites, live preview is not always completely accurate. So in order to disable or turn this off, you're just going to click this little lightning bolt icon, which will turn off the live preview window. Now that I have that closed, I have more real estate or more room for my code. This icon right here opens up your extension manager. The extension manager is an area where you can install optional extensions that will enhance the usability and performance of the application. There are all kinds of different extensions that are available. You can look in the available extension tab and find out more about the extensions. If you want to learn more about them, you can simply click on the more info if that's available. In most cases, we'll launch a web browser and tell you more about that particular extension. We also have themes that are available inside of Phoenix Code Editor. Themes will let you skin the way that your code looks in the code editor. So currently I am using the default light theme. If I go to this installed tab right here, it shows me that I'm currently running Phoenix Light. If I wanted to switch to Phoenix Dark, I'll just click Apply, and as you can see, it's going to make my code editor change, and now it's showing my code with this dark theme. These will not change anything about the code themselves, but they will allow you to reskin and customize the way Phoenix code looks. There are a number of themes available, and you can go ahead and install any of them that you want. So if I wanted to try this new moon theme, I can simply install it. It's going to install the extension, and then I'll need to go to the installed area and choose to either apply or remove that extension. So if I apply new moon extension, you can see that now the code is displaying with this new color or code styling collection. If we come to the extension manager and you decide that you want to get rid of any of these, you'll simply remove them. I'm going to go ahead and use the neon morning theme. This is the one that I prefer to code in, as I feel like the colors have a lot of contrast and they work well for my training videos. You also have the basic Phoenix Code Editor menu here. You can do things like open files, save files, close files. You can access the extension manager from here as well, or live preview. Both of these are available in this right-hand pane in addition to the drop-down menu. You also have the ability to perform edits, find things, change your view, and add different sorts of extensions. As you can see, I have a number of these active. for highlight active line, line numbers, which tells me the line number of my code. I like to work with word wrapping, which means if we have a really long sentence, it will wrap onto the other line rather than forcing you to scroll horizontally. You can also turn on rulers if you like, and indent guidelines. So these are the settings that I'm using in Phoenix Code Editor. There's some other menu items here, and we will periodically be looking at these as we begin developing web pages. Now that we have the application up and ready to go, the first thing that I want to do is set up a project. It's important to set up your first project, and we do this by creating a folder. This folder is going to contain all of the files that are going to ultimately become part of our website or web page. You can either set up the folder directly on your operating system. So here is a folder that I've created called website. I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder inside of the website project. And I typically place my web-related files in a folder called root. This way, if I'm working for this client or this project, I can keep other files that might not be necessary for the website, but might support it, such as native logo files, images that my client has supplied to me, text documents, brochures, or any other information that is related or relevant to the project. I would place those in the website folder, and typically, instead of calling it website, I would name it whatever my client name is. And then the root folder is going to only contain my web-related files. Now that you've created a folder to house your web-related files, we need to open that folder in Phoenix Code. We have two ways of doing this. We could simply go into Phoenix Code and do File, Open Folder, and then we'll need to navigate to wherever the folder is housed on our computer. Or my preferred method is to create the folder and then simply grab the folder icon and drag it to the Phoenix Code window. When I do that, you'll see that this drop to open folder root as project is going to appear. Once I've done that, this project folder is now open in Phoenix Code Editor. The advantage of doing this is anytime we create new files, they will automatically default to saving in the root folder. So if I go to File, New File, and I'm going to call this file index.html, we will typically name our home page or the first page of our website index.html. It must have this name so that when the user types in a URL, this is the page that displays. As soon as I save the page with the .html extension, some code automatically appears inside of Phoenix Code Editor. This is the basic code that I need for any web page. It contains a doc type, the HTML element, which wraps around everything, the head element, and we have a meta tag that is stating the character set of this website. We have a title with a very generic value, and then we have the body tag. The body tag will ultimately house anything that we're going to place on our website. As I begin to build a more complex website, I will create any subfolders or any additional files inside of the root folder. So let me open a project that is a little bit more fleshed out. Here's a web project that has a little bit more going on. I have an index page which contains a lot of information. I have a styles folder which contains my CSS styles. And I have an images folder which contains a number of images that I'm using on this website. If I want to preview this website, the easiest way to do this is to open it in a browser. So I'll navigate to where I've saved the file, and I'm simply going to double click on the index file or drag it into my browser of choice. Once it's in the browser, the navigation or other elements on the page that are interactive, everything should work correctly. So if I click About, it takes me to the About section. If I click Gallery, it takes me to the Gallery section. This web page is fully functional within the browser, but the website only exists on my own local computer. It is not available to anyone that's out there on the web. This website only exists on my particular computer. The advantage of working in this way is when you make changes to your website. So let's just go ahead and come to the top of the website, and where it says Marine Awareness Retreats, I'm going to change that text. I'll go into the web page. I'm going to find that bit of text, and we're just going to change this to say hello there. If I save my page, the content in the browser does not update automatically, but as soon as we click the refresh button, that change that we've specified will be displayed. This is my usual workflow. I will code the website in my code editor, and when I'm ready to preview it, I'll save the file, and then I open it in the browser. And once the file is open in the browser, if it already exists within my browser, I simply click the refresh button to update and be able to preview and view any changes that I've made to the website. I'm going to go back to my original root folder that we had made initially. This currently only has the index.html file that we just created. I'll double click on the index file, which is going to open it in the browser. And I just want to point out a couple of things. The title is being inherited by the value of the title tag. So if I change this title tag to say my first website, and I save the page, when I click the refresh button, you can see that the title of the web page now updates. If we want to put any content on the page, we do that within the body section. So I'm going to start off by making an H1. And because this is a code editor, as soon as I type opening angle bracket, H1, and closing angle bracket, Phoenix Code Editor will automatically create the closing tag for me. I don't have to worry about creating that because it's trying to help me. We're going to start off by typing hello world inside of our H1. Then I'll go ahead and create a paragraph. I'm going to hit return. I'll make an opening P tag. And once again, as soon as I make the closing angle bracket, Phoenix makes the closing tag for me. When you're working in Phoenix Code Editor, if you ever see a bullet point to the left of the name of a file, this is a visual clue that the file has not yet been saved. So you will need to use either Command S or Control S, or use File, Save File to update and save the file. Once the file has been saved, if I come back into the browser and click the refresh button, you can see that the new edits that we've added are going to display. If I make a change to my website, so I'll add an H2, and I don't save the file, even if I click the preview button or reload button, that content does not show up. And that's because my file has not yet been saved. So I need to make sure that my file is saved. In this case, I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut of Command or Control S. And now when I click the reload or refresh button, the new content is going to appear. Obviously, this is a very quick overview of how Phoenix Code Editor works, but this hopefully gives you an idea of how you can get up and running with a basic web project that you're building and developing locally on your own computer.